I would like to have a short introduction, for example, also from both of us. I mean, if you already know me, and for those who don't, I'm Ewan, uh, coming at you from Zurich, Switzerland. I'm lawyer, business lounge expert, speaker, and advisor. I help corporate people, I mean, particularly corporate people, or also other professionals, become successful entrepreneurs. Those who are ready to break out their job, but they are not clear where, what, how to start. So I help them throughout my mentorship program to get a new life started. And today we have Nadia Boersch from Austria, a wonderful lady, and we both actually belong to the same mentorship program with amazing mentors, Kane and Alessia Minkus. And we share some stuff regarding the style of launching our business, etc., and some challenges and some also mutual criterias that really connected us as we got to know each other the very first time. So we just decided to come at you live and do a session with you, everybody, to share some criterias which are super crucial for all of us, especially also ladies in business, in private life and in professional life. Let's name it authenticity and being feminine and also being strong leader. So I would like that Nadia also introduce herself quickly, and then it's going to be an interaction. So it's not going to be a monologue. Please also everybody feel free to leave comments or questions. We're here today for you. Nadia.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having the idea to come up with these sessions. It's been really inspiring to get to know you better, and throughout all the conversations we've been having in the last couple of weeks, it's been really interesting to exchange with other people, and especially other women who are also business owners, who are also entrepreneurs, who have similar values and similar visions. So I'm really excited today that we're going to be talking about these three elements because they are actually the three elements of a business that I just launched within the last couple of weeks. So I already started working on this business the last couple of weeks, but I officially launched it just last week. And this business,
Congratulations.
thank
Thumbs
you.
up, everyone.
So this business is dedicated to women, and it's called the Women of Influence, and it is
Wow.
dedicated to women to find the three factors, which is natural female leadership. And so I'm really excited that we're going to be talking about these three factors today.
Wonderful.
And that has become my new mission, because what I realized was I'm actually a brand and marketing strategist. So I usually help business owners and corporates to develop brand and marketing strategies that are tailored towards their consumer and their customer. And what I realized was that I was creating all of these strategies with especially women. And then when it came to implementing them, they struggled in all kinds of areas. They had fears in all kinds of areas. And pretty much like we were also talking in the last weeks, what some of the things were that people were coming to us and talking to us about. And that's why I started this new program called Women of Influence. And what's a bit different, or what is the unique point or unique selling proposition to this program, or what's a bit unusual, so to speak, is that I am doing this through the power of the horses, because
Don't
my
disclose it.
teachers
Don't disclose it. Wait.
in this area were the horses.
That's a pity.
Yeah.
That's a surprise. Wait.
That was
Don't
the
give it all.
surprise.
Yeah. Because we want our friends just to stay with us until they know exactly how you want to do it, because that's what makes you definitely unique. So, and the great thing about launching also something for yourself or from ourselves is, first of all, belongs to this whole element of authenticity. So that's, you do it your way,
Right.
I do it my way, and she and her, everybody can do it their own way, and that makes us actually unique, because otherwise we can get wrapped up in the whole competition majority or amongst other peers. But building up something on your own and doing it also your own way, having seen probably the lack or the problems in the market or the pains, that made you, probably pushed you towards this idea. And I think also your whole life being with horses and dealing with them professionally, and in a way you built up also a kind of friendship or relationship with them. So one question I think for me and maybe for others would be also, why horses? Why not sheep?
Well, basically, a lot of animals are very deceptive to the way you act, and they are great at detecting your authenticity, or to put it very differently, they're great bullshit detectors, and that is the reason
Animals
why.
are always authentic, right? I mean, I have
Yes,
not seen animals who is acting fake. It's human
right,
who
right,
forgets sometimes where it's coming
right.
from.
Animals are always real. Animals are great bullshit detectors. And there are a lot of animals that you can use as co-coaches or co-leaders or co-trainers in order to teach people authenticity, in order to teach people leadership, and also now, as I discovered, to teach them femininity. And
Wow.
authenticity is such a key value, because what the horses actually do is they always detect congruency. And I'm very happy to see that we actually have a couple of people watching that are from some of my horse friends. And they know very well the importance of authenticity and the importance of being congruent within yourself, because when you're not, they don't follow you. So especially horses are herd animals, and
Hi, Susanna. Sorry, I just.
hey, Susanna. Horses are herd animals, and that means they depend on one very strong leader. And what surprises a lot of people is that in the horse herd, the leader is actually the female horse, not the male horse.
Wow,
And
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yes,
What?
and so the female is there usually to lead the group to safety. The female is the one that decides where they're going, at what pace they're going, if there is danger. Everybody looks to the female leader to see, hey, what's going on? What's happening? Is there danger? Do we stay? Do we go? Do we run? And they
But
have to become very deceptive.
is it
Mhm.
only amongst horses or also some other animals that they have the same? I mean, that the females are rather leading.
Well, wolves, dogs, for example, it's a very similar situation. You also have the alpha male and the alpha female, and they have different roles and different responsibilities. So, in different herds and different herd situations, you've got different leaders that have different positions in order to protect the herd and to make sure that the herd is fed, safe, and is reproducing as well, right?
Oh yeah.
So that is all of these factors that come together. And so horses, therefore, or also dogs, same situation, they're really good at detecting whether you're very secure in what you want from them. So if you say, okay, let's go over there, and you're not congruent within yourself and you're not certain about what you're doing, the animal is just going to go, well, she's not really sure what she's doing, why should I follow her or him?
I have to probably just tell you a very short, I mean, 1 minute story. As the first time that I saw a pretty aggressive dog as I was jogging,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was just coming at me, and I thought, oh, okay, what should I do? And then I learned, once you look them in the eyes and say stop or don't do or do, they will follow. But as I stopped, and suddenly I thought I'm a super leader, and I said stop, but then he still attacked me and came at me. And then the lady who was with the dog, then she told me the dog realized that you are scared, but you still try to tell him what to do. So he
Right,
realized that it's not you leading, actually you are led by your fear. And
right,
so he sees that in your eyes, no matter if you're wearing sunglasses or something. So
right.
either don't command him or mean it when you command it. So I
That's
think
right.
here we can go to a very important criteria in leadership that goes also to congruency and authenticity. What is that? What is lacking, especially why many women are lacking those things, although they are by nature powerful leaders and influencers also throughout the history. What did you notice, for example, that you came to the idea of launching something which is focusing on ladies, let's say, and also on their influence and leadership? What was lacking? What did you see really in the surrounding?
I saw a lot of incongruency in terms of women that were pretending to be either very successful, but were not very successful, or they were pretending to be very confident, but they were just basically throwing covers over insecurities. And that's the beauty of working with animals, is they see that, they see right through that. And that's
Bullshit
why
detectors, right?
real strong bullshit detector.
That's
And this
amazing.
is something that I've seen, and to be very frank and very honest, it's something I did myself as well. Like, I realized, okay, I was insecure in some areas, and in other areas I was very confident. It's the nature of human being. You cannot be 100% confident throughout everything,
Everywhere,
no matter
yeah.
what you do, every area. And especially women, for example, I find it very interesting that women are extremely confident when it comes to taking over the role in the family, because this is a role that we've traditionally grown into. You know, it's kind of
Because
the role
maybe
that
it
has been given
shows
to us.
it is it is in a way stressing their responsibility or their generosity or this
Right.
role of being martyr, like just to sacrifice themselves for their kids or for their family. It is this protector role. Maybe that's by nature. So I think actually we can then leverage that, even if the times have changed and the roles of women also now in executive roles, or in, I wouldn't call it management, in leadership roles. It is now very bold, much bolder than in the past. So probably it's a time to make this turn around and go back to the basis. So this is, I think, what you also mean,
Mm-hmm.
and what you also notice, that the women have that by nature, also based on their role in the family, but they normally do not, yeah, leverage it for their businesses or for their real life, because maybe just we share also very short background about ourselves, that we both coming from also
Corporate.
corporate, yes, and funny enough, we almost broke out of corporate life at the same time, and for much similar reasons. And in our first conversation, that it was scheduled to be half an hour and it went 1.5 hours.
Yes.
And that was actually the whole push and the kick ass to do something together, was that uh, we were suppressed during the time that we were in corporate for being feminine, for
Mm-hmm.
acting feminine, maybe for dressing feminine, for appearing feminine, because something which is now a challenge for ladies in professional life, not only when they're entrepreneur and having their own business, but also in corporate life, in whatever jobs and roles in the society they have. Once they want to appear serious, or they want to be taken serious, they try to act like males, or dress like males, or not smile a lot, or just maybe not even put on makeup, or not dressing feminine and nice, so that people take them serious, because we have been told that once we look attractive, or once we look feminine, then it is not good when we are going to a serious meeting. I know it myself from my law firm experiences, that sometimes I had to always wear something like this, with white
Mm-hmm.
horse and a dark, I mean, black frame, big glasses, and hair is always back, so that, because, so that's why today I left my hairs open, because that was exactly the contradictory or the paradox to the career that I had before. So somehow I had to hide my nature, or I had to hide what I had, whether good or bad. I don't say hairs are, well, what hairs are nice or not. That's not the topic. But regardless of what we had, it was said to be better to hide them, to be taken serious at the negotiation table, or in a client meeting. So, did you have also, I think, a
I think
similar
this is a
background?
situation I had very similar situations to you, very similar conversations. And it's very interesting because you have these conversations with all kinds of women in all kinds of situations, and basically you realize we all kind of experience the same thing.
Yeah, but there
And
are very few who talk about it.
yeah,
So
well, they talk
that's
about
why.
it behind, like, and you would get a call and say, this is what I experienced,
Oh
what you
no, like
think,
this. I mean, without any
but
restriction.
publicly,
Yeah,
right?
put it
But
on Facebook
publicly,
Live on
exactly. Let's talk about it
public.
on Facebook Live. Probably not so many. And I also experienced this to be very. I felt so bad. Like my self-esteem. There was a time in my corporate job where my self-esteem was pretty low because of that. Because I forced myself to dress down. I
Oh
forced
yeah,
myself to wear. I was always in high heels. I forced myself to wear flat shoes. And I became a lot more serious because my kind of
serious.
happy, funny nature was not so
Was
much
not professional.
appreciated.
Was
Was
not
not
professional. Yeah.
right. It
I
was
was told a
considered
few
as
times, act
unprofessional, right?
professional. I said, why?
Yes,
I mean, we are working now for 6 hours, so let us do some push-ups on the floor. What is that unprofessional about this? No, no, act professional. Or don't open your hairs. It's not professional. It's the most
exactly.
ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Exactly. I think the point is that today we can be very aware of what we do in different situations. And actually, I have a pretty funny story of a very dear friend of mine, and she's the queen of femininity for me, and she's
Wow.
also in a very male-dominated industry, and she's in the construction business actually, and she works in her super high heels. She goes
With the helmet.
yes, super high heels and the helmet on the
What?
construction side. And we talked about this topic for some time. And what I really loved what she said is women have all kinds of facets. We just need to be very aware of when we use which one and use it to our advantage and to play smart about it. And so I think basically that's the big lesson, to understand that you can play different facets in different situations. You can be the super serious businesswoman when you have when you have an appointment with a bank. You can be fun and flippy when you're with a startup. You can be sexy and cool when you're going out into a bar. There are all kinds of situations where you can use and where you play to your advantage, all the while being authentic and being yourself,
That's
and not being
actually
fake.
wonderful that you're bringing it to the authenticity, what we actually also wanted to link to being a woman
Feminine.
and act
Yes.
also as a woman, and not doing like acting like what you don't mean or what you don't think, so that the dogs and the horses will detect your bullshit and are in trouble. You either get a kick or a bite, so it's not so recommended to be fake anymore. And that the cool thing is what you just mentioned. We have this actually possibility and this skill and to adapt ourselves, which is not seen as fake, but it is the different sides of us. A while ago, actually, I made on a very short project in the last day of summer. I made a very short video with a good artist friend of mine, exactly about this topic. And I was trying to demonstrate or to transmit this message to the people, to everybody. I will send it also public soon. It's on YouTube actually, but I will put it also here. So I played the three roles of mine. So my crazy side, my professional side, and my super feminine and let's say graceful side. So each one dressed with the same mood or with the same characteristic, and acting also the same. So none of us was fake. Not the crazy one was not copying the elegant one, and not the other. So they were having a conversation and speaking with each other. And at the end of this short story, the three of me came to the conclusion that only we as all are one, and one real person, not each one of us alone. So
Right. And you're always, I mean, we have so many different facets and so many different faces, and that is perfectly okay. I think a lot of women are very confused in terms of, but when do I use this one, and when do I use that one, and do I have to use this one here because it's necessary and called for, and do I have to use the other one somewhere else? It's kind of like, I think it's nice to have a choice and also to speak up. Like, I don't think, like today, if I were the Nadia a couple of years ago, I think I would have had this conversation in a very different way. But also, I wouldn't have had it in a very upset way, but I would have very naturally just said, well, it's my personality. You know, I can change a couple of things, but I can't change everything.
Yeah, maybe exactly like also myself, probably a few years ago, we would have brought this topic as as an issue, as a problem,
Right.
something that we're
Yes.
suffering. But now we can laugh about it. And what we really want also other people, first of all, to talk about it and to stop acting, but just being what you are, because otherwise the dogs are there waiting for you, for you because they realize, or the horses. Now be careful with Nadia. So just being yourself and having this energy, because fake energy is actually a waste of energy, and it makes all of us so exhausted and frustrated. I had the experience of sometimes in meetings that I couldn't be myself, although I could have run that meeting 10 times better if I would have used the same energy that I'm putting now on the table. I could have come to the deal or to a closing, but I had to be the, you know, the like this, and that was actually the burden also for the people for whom I was working. So they were so stupid to put a burden in front of me and to block their own business. But the day I think that me and you both realize we don't belong to this setup anymore, so let us break free and do our own thing. I know, and everybody else maybe also know, that we have been also through craps, you know. I think it is not only, yes, we just woke up one day and we thought, oh, now we are acting the way we are and everybody loves us. No, that's, I mean, the reality is different. Every change and every transformation and every, let's say, going live or going public is a challenge. So once you have to have the courage, I don't call it being brave, because brave is a fake opposite of fear, but courage is the opposite of having lack of those confidence and authenticity. So this is this difference that some people call themselves brave. That's rather based on the ego that they have. But courage is something based on the fearlessness. And once we get so mature and step into our spotlight and stand there the way we are and speak it and also act like that and also present it in our business, because I think a business, I mean, launching a business is a very good beginning of a freedom, and not only just a
Right.
freedom in case in sense of doing chaos, etc., but just the freedom of choice that you are or you act the way you are, and nobody is there to tell you what is the dress code today. You decide where you go, in which dress code, in which setup, and with whom, what kind of, I don't know, personality you just let out. But they must be all coming out from yourself. So you broke out of corporate also as me, and not long time ago. And one thing that we also have in common is that we both launched something first, and then time we froze that because we came up with another innovative idea, which is probably running better at the moment, and relying on or based on the power of one. So we put our main focus on this one, which is running. But one thing that we have in common, not only one thing, maybe one of the 100 ones, that we got started without following all the cliches and rules that the majority is following. Like, oh,
Right.
you have a
And I
logo,
think,
a business card, a website. Actually, we don't have those with our second business, which is the current one, and it's running, but it's working. So it's not like everybody else. How did you come to?
Right. Well, I think the point is, you know, the first business that I launched was the branding and marketing consulting, which I'm still doing, but it took me so much longer to get it off the ground. And I was so perfectionistic, and this is one of the things you learn as well in the corporate. But that's also a very feminine thing to be as well. I guess our male counterparts would probably just say, well, let's go for it and let's run for it. Whereas we're kind of like, oh no, it needs to be perfect, and it needs to have the perfect logo and the perfect business card and the perfect website, and we cannot start before. And it actually so I was in this very same position. It took me, I think, 2 or 3 months to really get started, and I felt very insecure on the way to launching that business, because it was like, oh no, I cannot get started yet. Oh no, I cannot start talking to people and getting clients. And this time I did the other way around. I just started without anything, without even the intention of titling it as a business. And still today, I don't care whether it's called a business or not a business, or whether it's my second business or my third business. I don't really mind. It's more about this intention of, I want to help people with what I do. And I realized that I could combine my passion for the horses to do something really powerful and really useful, and my learnings and the things I learned from the horses also in a business element, and that I could combine these two factors. And I was like, boom, wow. And then I just started, and it all came into play. And then just last week, I was like, well, I better start launching this officially. And then I had so many women come up to me that were like, oh no, I cannot start yet. I don't have a business card. I don't have a website. I don't have this. I don't have that. And so I really dedicated this new launch to say, you know, I didn't have any of that. So that doesn't mean that it's the perfect way to do it, right? We discussed this. That doesn't mean it's the perfect way for everybody else to do it.
No, but
we tend to overthink stuff, right?
Exactly. You should not let it be like something to stumble on, or just to be burden
holding you
to
back.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because a while ago also somebody was asking me, oh, can you please give me your website that I go for further information? I just told him, look, we are sitting here face to face, eye to eye. Let's get personal and close the doors and ask me whatever you want. I'm here to answer your questions. So why do you want to go to your home and watch it from your website? I'm here. So what are your concerns? And then he was like, oh, that's a cool way of doing business. I mean, we human beings are in the past decade, exactly, we are really missing this man to man, woman to woman. I mean, this one-on-one contact, and this personal, and websites, etc. I don't say they are not good. Of course, I'm also launching one. It is fine, but it is not a must while we want to get started. Or a business card, it is not a must. I was also investing a lot of time and energy launching my first business. The first 2 months, I was just sitting there and creating a wonderful website. And at the end, I thought, actually, I'm working and I have clients and the business is running and nobody's asking me. I mean, some people are asking me, can we refer to your website? But when I tell them it's not ready yet, or I don't have one, they were not going away.
No.
So the main work was the quality or the value that I was offering them. So website was number 2. So it's nice to have, but it's not must have. So for a lot of people, I would really also love to share this with them, because it's not also only me. At the beginning, I was even having a discussion with my mentor. I said, why are you sending me out to work without having my website ready? And he said, because I want you to be you first. And then the virtual world, we can arrange that in 2 days.
And the other thing is, from a branding perspective, is that actually when you start a new business, you start out with an idea and you start out with something that you want to achieve, but also a certain kind of clients that you want to work with. And I mean, we discussed this, right? This is something we both experienced, is that when you actually go out and you have your website and everything ready, a brand is a living thing. It's not like you set it in stone, it sits in a box and it's there all the time. We see brand remodelings, brand
Yeah,
rejuvenations all the
it is
time.
vivid. It is just growing,
Exactly.
or it's changing.
Exactly.
So you can't have a website and then in 2 months, while your brand is having set up, then you cannot change, because then it will harm your credibility actually. So
Right. Well, it depends on kind of the time frame, right? But the point is, whilst you're building this new business, you want to make sure that you're talking to people, and then sometimes you think you're working with one target audience. Like a lot of people think they're going to work with just women, and then actually they end up working with just men, and their website is all in pink. And it's kind of like, okay, so what do we do then? So that's why I really encourage everyone to think first to say, okay, so who do I actually want to work with? And then start going out there, talking to people, experiencing people, and then understanding, okay, do I really want to work with these people? And then also to understand that you can just start without a website and without a business card.
actually, and then as you said,
Adjust
once
later.
you go out there and check out the market and start tapping on the market to see what are their real needs, then that helps us also while launching or setting up the website or whatever, so that we can also influence it by the needs or the problems and the wishes of our target market, because that's also respectful towards them. And once they come to your website and see this, I mean, our website with, I don't know, pink or royal blue or something, maybe that's resonating with our target market the best. So why not, first of all, going to them, work, and people will take you serious also, without really, depending on how you present your idea, depending on how you deliver your service, or the value that at the beginning we just add without asking for something in return, because first is giving and then expecting. It will come automatically actually, even if we don't start expecting or setting expectations.
Right. And I have a lot of people ask me, so where can I explore this on the market? And I always say, well, think of your target audience, pick 2, write down 5, pick 2 you want to work with, and then go out and find them and go where they are and talk to them and listen to them and have interviews with them and kind of get to know them really well. It's not only about saying, okay, I want women. You need to be very specific, and you need to understand really well how it works,
Absolutely.
and what their needs are, because your message needs to be targeted towards them. It's not
Yeah,
about just saying, oh, I'm going to
not
work
about
with these
me.
guys, and you
If
don't
I
know.
like
Yeah.
tomato red but my market likes gold, sorry. I mean,
It's
it's
not
my
going to work.
loss. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I'm in love with Ferrari red but my market likes silver, then I'm in trouble. And if I'm not so flexible to adapt to the needs of my market, then I'm not respecting them. Then I should stop calling myself an entrepreneur, because I'm not adding value. Because once
Right.
we start becoming, I don't call it like business people, but entrepreneurs, it is that we are creating opportunities, and we are adding value, and we are serving. It's not that we are selling. So once we start serving and trying to have an impact on other people's life, then we should also take care of their needs and their wishes or their preferences. So probably, of course, there would be also a market area or the niche that also resonates with our values and integrity. Of course, if I really then hate pink, I would not do it because of my market, because maybe that market is not in good rapport with me when we are so far apart from each other. So this is also something that maybe you can add up 2, 3 sentences about this influence, because that's now your actually main point of business. How you connect it with the leadership power, and not of only the ladies, but just as human beings, but particularly the ladies. How can they leverage it as influence factor?
Well, the thing is that leadership and influence is as closely linked, like they're married, they're actually inseparable. So if you want to be an influencer, you need to be a leader. If you want to be a leader, you should become an influencer. So that's really because not only does it give you the skill set, but also it gives you a big following. Like, you can be the best leader. If you have got no one to lead, you're not a leader. So it's quite as simple as that.
You're leading on your website.
Right, you're leading only your own website. You're
I mean,
leading
today
only
is
your
rather
business
also
card.
Absolutely. This is what you lead because this is the same color that you want. But these days, why did I also start like with the social media pages, etc.? Because they are lively, and this is how we can interact with our potential clients or with our target market directly. This is not well possible on a website because a website is rather static unless we are updating it on daily basis or we are having a link to our social media or something. So this is how we can get in touch actually with the people that we would love to serve and we would love to have in our community and in our let's say influence cries, so that we build up a kind of community and friendship also with them. So that's because people want to see and want to know who is behind this service, who is behind this business. It is me here today in blue. That's Nadia from, are you now in Vienna actually?
Yeah, I am now. For change.
Give me a taste of the Mozart city. It's
Right, exactly.
one of my very favorite cities in Europe. I mean, once if I have to move from Zurich to somewhere else in Europe, number one is Vienna.
Well, that's because Vienna and Zurich are always competing for number one most livable cities
Well,
in the
that's the
world.
life quality. But what I love about Vienna is it's a big city, but it's still offering life quality. Because normally, I
It's
mean,
true.
I myself, I'm coming from a 20 million metropole, but it is wonderful. It is vibrating. I mean, Tehran City, it's called the New York City of Middle East. It's never a sleeping city,
Right.
but I cannot say I mean, air pollution is there, traffic is there, wasting time is there, sun. But Vienna is big, but it's still, yeah, high quality. So for me, actually,
Yeah.
choice number one in Europe. Happy to
Wonderful. Well, you're welcome whenever you want to come. Come.
soon. We anyway have just got started these exchanges and this also cooperation between us. So one thing that we can probably also tell our friends or audience that we can, first of all, it's not our last time. It's our first time now. Some nice people were just leaving the comments of the ladies in blue or something. Maybe next time there's different colors, but we will come back, and we will come back with 2, 3 topics which are actually burning hot topics amongst people who just launched or who are considering a launch of business, especially what challenges they are facing or they are dealing with, and what are actually the real challenges that must be taken serious and taken some time and concern, and what are those that they are just not real concerns and they just have to put it aside. So we will come back with this topic, and I would like to give away also something as every Facebook Live session that I had either alone or with my expert friends and colleagues, that as business launch mentor, if you consider launching a business and you don't know what, how, when to begin, just drop me a message. We just jump into a 30 minutes discovery call for free, and then we get to know each other, and then we might find out whether I can help you or not. So I'm here, Nadia.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, I can't believe the session went so quickly.
I just
It
looked
was
at
really
the
very
time
quick.
because we were supposed to be here for half an hour and we exceeded that.
Right.
But
We exceeded that already. Amazing. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
yeah, that's why we should have more of that.
Exactly. Absolutely agree. Yeah, I'm actually gonna limit it to, did you limit yours? You did
Oh,
limit
actually
yours, right?
5. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
for reminding me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we cannot be there also for numerous or for everybody.
Right. So I'm actually going to offer exactly the same thing. So if somebody is interested to take their leadership skills to the next level, if you want to become an influential person, and or if you're struggling with your marketing strategy currently, you're very welcome to set up a strategy meeting with me. And yeah, I'm going to put the meeting link in the comments afterwards.
Wonderful. So we will get back to comments or questions, of course, in the comments, so that maybe your question is the questions of others. So please just feel free. We will share this video afterwards, also both of us, so it will remain on our wall, on our social media, for those lovely friends and colleagues the chance to join us, because we just wanted to be spontaneously without any announcement or something.
Right.
Just said, let's give it a shot. And Nadia, show me the glass of wine.
It's here.
I want to close it, yes, with happiness. Don't think that, I mean, we're getting closer to the weekend, so let's get in the mood, and nothing is bad as long as you're enjoying it, right?
Exactly.
Cheers.
Wonderful.
So
Cheers, my dear.
we will offer also something in German soon, because yeah, I know I can't speak German, and Nadia is German mother tongue, so it is not going to be also always in English, but rather this is now international. But I think once we will also do it in German. Thank you, Sandra,
Perfect.
for being with us. Michael, everybody else, I was just seeing Sylvia, Sia, Heidi, Adriana, Roby, Goli, Nadia, you yourself, and many more. So
Wonderful.
thank you so much for being with us, and we wish you all a very pleasant evening, and see you soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Ciao.
Bye bye.